Doctor, do you really hope that people will stop smoking as a result of this campaign?
You bet I do, Art. This is the whole purpose behind this, to save people's lives, and smoking is killing them every day. Approximately 200,000 a year in the United States alone.
I have a friend, in fact, he's our news director, who quit smoking several months ago, and he says he still wants a cigarette as bad today as he ever did. Is there any way that he can maybe be alleviated of this desire or want for a cigarette?
I don't know of any way, because many people tell me the same thing. I suppose just brainwashing himself about the good that he is doing himself will be the best advantage he'll have.
There are a number of things that came to light, however, in an interview with Mr. Bell. He is a lawyer in Dallas, although he says he is a resident of Lincoln Park. He is in business with Mr. John B. Foster, an attorney from Arlington. The two men own this park. He listed themselves as the majority stockholders. However, he would not say how many minority stockholders there were or who these people may be. He did confirm, though, that they are the two major stockholders. They are the two major stockholders in this liquor store. They will be the two major stockholders of a pizza parlor to be installed at a later date. Of the 75 homes on this park, 72 are owned by the two gentlemen. And he told me they have a 94% occupancy rate at rates of $125 to $155 a month. However, the park's manager, Mrs. Marcia Talley, told me that of the 72 homes available, 13 were vacant. That's an 82% occupancy rate, or a difference of 12%. She also told me there was only one privately owned trailer on the park, and it was a 12-foot camper-type trailer that was only there temporarily and would be replaced by a rental unit later. This is Jim Mitchell, Channel 8 News on the Move in Lincoln Park.
But I think in one sense, it's perhaps a sad occasion, because it's an admission on our part that we still have children who require detention here in this community. It's not a problem uncommon to any community, but it is an admission that we have children who still, for their own best interest, in order to protect them, or who to protect the other people in the community, require to be placed in a detention facility where we have 24-hour control and supervision. So in connection with being here today, the Juvenile Board and Juvenile Probation Department and Court promises and pledges to you, the interested citizens in this community, to utilize this facility to the very best interest of the children it serves, and also to operate the very best program possible in rehabilitating the children here in this community.
Mr. Walker, how did you vote today?
I'd rather not say.
You would rather not say, but of the 18 people who have voted, I understand there are 28 registered voters. What is your feeling of the trend?
Well, from the people I've been able to talk to prior to the election, both seem to be pretty favorable and for the consumption of alcoholic beverages.
And Mr. Walker, since you and your wife are both teachers, what is your feeling about the park going wet?
Well, it's my feeling that there was a lot of need for it because of the large area out here and being dry. And there was a lot of people that were traveling back and forth between there and Dallas, and it caused a safety hazard. And I feel like it's really going to be a benefit to the community.
How long have you been a resident?
Since September.
Now, the park incorporated in March and, of course, has now called this liquor election. Do you feel this is going to cause an influx of inhabitants of Lincoln Park?
No, I don't see why it would. We're running pretty close to full capacity right now, and there's no plans in anywhere in the immediate future of moving any more trailers in.
At the current time, there will be one liquor store in Lincoln Park that will be owned by the owners of the city or the landowners of the city. Does this bother you?
No.
And this is Lincoln Park's liquor store, or at least it will be in another 3 or 4 weeks. Just as sure as this building is standing here with its intended purpose, that's the way this election is going today.
As a matter of fact, you have two levels of operation. One is the ground, which is as it is today, and the other is the whole air safety or air lack of hazard area that's raised above the airport, probably some given distance, like 150 feet or something like that. And then from there, everything planes out and begins to disappear into the altitude as you get further and further from the airport.
The airport board already has plenty of maps, but this new map is not just any kind of map. When it's finished, about the latter part of this year, it will outline building heights permitted as far away as 10 miles from the regional airport. Airport planner Jack Downey used a preliminary map to tell me why the three-dimensional concept is needed.
What you're looking at, and the map is a very complex thing, although this one is fairly simple. As you come off the runway, taking off to the north, the area of clearance widens out, as you can see on the lines here, and goes up in the air at the same time. You'd really have to have a three-dimensional model to get any real picture of it in your mind. But what it does do is it indicates those wide sweeping areas that need to be kept free of hazard. So as that goes up in the air, we can tell how high the hazard area is. On the map underneath, we can see the actual ground contours. So we can tell you, if you wanted to build a building in this particular area, how high you could build a building above the ground without penetrating this so-called plane of hazard.
When it is finished, the map will cost between $16,000 and $20,000. But at least 5 cities around the regional airport will have guidelines on how tall they can build their buildings in the future. This is Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News on the Move in Arlington.